Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Hi, I'm Peter Martin and welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. It's our look back over 2019. There's been lots of talking points in the Scottish game and of course a few sad occasions with the loss of Billy McNeill and Fernando Rickson. We look back over the last 12 months in the company of so many of our pundits on the programme. Hopefully you'll enjoy the highs and the lows and the great talking points in the Scottish game. We're not surprised because we predicted it yesterday. Yep. What about you?
I think it's an amazing event, actually. It's a surprise to a degree, because we saw it coming, that's why you could predict it, but it's still a surprise as to why he's accepted this. Brendan Rodgers has got questions to answer. You know, he's leaving Celtic, he's obviously on the periphery of a, I would say, historical time for a manager to win 3 trebles in a row. Nobody's done it before, and he's going to a club which is sitting in 12th position in the English League. You know, you just say what Leicester done. They won the league recently and they're never going to do it again. They had a one-off win. So where are Leicester going to go? You just wonder why, if he wanted to get back in England, is it because a manager should leave when he stocks at a highest point? That's when you've got the best chance of getting a job at a higher level, which English football is a higher level in the Scottish game. But in terms of looking at the two clubs, you wouldn't say Leicester are a higher level than Celtic. So that's why it's pretty fascinating, I think.
I can't wait for the second autobiography because the first one was all fluffy, you know. The second one's going to be brilliant.
The thing I couldn't understand was playing cards on a bus, going to a game and losing money before that. I just couldn't get my head around the gang up the back, betting large amounts of money and then having to concentrate and losing that money and then going out and having to perform. I remember one particular guy.
He's on form.
Just when I said that, it was Tommy Craig's brother, wee John Craig, who liked a gamble and that, and they were playing 3-card brag, and we were playing Aberdeen. And by the time we got up to Aberdeen, he'd lost all his money. He's lost his trousers. He had to walk into Aberdeen in his underpants and his shoes because we wouldn't give him his trousers back.
What's going on here? Can you imagine the fans just as they're clapping them off the bus? Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show and this special tribute to Lisbon Lion and Celtic's greatest ever captain, Billy McNeill, who sadly passed away in the early hours of this morning. There's no doubt about how highly he's regarded among the Celtic support. You only have to look at the start of the Celtic walkway to see the legacy of the great man in bronze holding up the European Cup. Yes, lots to get through, but the big news, the SFA have confirmed that Steve Clarke is the new Scotland manager. Ruffy, is it a good appointment? And if so, why?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we had 2 candidates, both of them would have been very good. But I think Steve Clarke has got a wee bit more experience than Derek. Obviously been down in England and working under some wonderful coaches through his career, and he's taken that on to Kilmarnock. We saw what he's done with Kilmarnock, which is absolutely remarkable. He's identified players to come up and fit their style of play. I think he's a manager who'll get respect from the players that are in there. I still think we've got a hard task. I think it's all about the players on the park, but certainly, you know, somebody like him coming in, and if he can do even half of what he's done at Kilmarnock for the Scotland team, then it's very, very hopeful.
Well, let me just ask you, what's the worst game you've ever been involved in, Ruffy, where you thought, just get me off, just get me off?
How long you got here?
No, it had to be in a semi-final, Hibs versus Aberdeen, and at that time you were allowed to bet. Right, at that time you were allowed to bet, and we all.
Story.
No, it's a quick one. We all decided we were 61, and we all decided to put 20 quid in on ourselves. And I was the person who had been given the duty to go in and put the bet on. So I'd duly been in, put the bet on, go to the betting slip, and threw 3 in the back of the net in the first. I remember at half time, Jackie McNeill said to me, "He's up deadline, I see what you've put on."
Fernando Rickson, who sadly passed away this morning. The news will come as a shock and a blow to many, but the people that were very close to him were probably dreading this day. What's your memories of him, and how would you like to react to that news, Barry?
Well, first of all, it's obviously sad and devastating news. I got a phone call from one of my ex-teammates telling us what happened. So first and foremost, a sad day. It's been a long, hard, brave battle for him the last 6 years. It's been a tough one. But look, as a player, he was a good player. He had a good character about him, Fernando. When he first came over, my first memories is he struggled the first 2 or 3 months. But after that, it's easy for players to fade away. But he had that bit about him, that bit of fighting spirit, which has showed in the last 6 years of his illness. So, yeah, it's a tough one to take, but it's been a long struggle for him the past 6 years, and certainly the last few months. It's been hard to watch him suffer. So no, overall it's been a real sad day, not just for his ex-teammates, but for the Rangers fans and also for supporters round about Scotland.
An icon of Ibrox. Today, former Rangers captain Fernando Rickson passed the place he used to call home one last time. Flowers, flags and scarves showered the cortege as it stood by the main entrance, with thousands of fans, former players and the current squad all paying their respects before his funeral took place at Wellington Church in the West End of Glasgow. Since his passing a week ago, thousands of tributes have been left around the stadium gates, with all corners of Scottish football uniting in paying their respects to the former Netherlands international. Outside Ibrox here today, you could really gauge exactly what Fernando Rickson meant to people and how truly popular he was. Now, people loved him for not only what he did on the field as a leader for Rangers, but also for what he did off the field as well.
I've come to pay my respects to Fernando, who was a good ambassador for Rangers.
Just sad watching it. You know, he's got a good turnout.
Yeah.
And we'll win a night for him.
It was very sad to see him in that state, but he's been a warrior and an ambassador for Rangers Football Club.
Fernando Rickson will clearly always be in the hearts of people here, as his heroic and brave approach to life, both on the pitch as well as away from it, will never ever be forgotten.
I've got to ask you, Rafa, how many of the strips have you still got? I know you sold a lot of them.
No,
have you got a good few Scotland ones?
Yeah, I've got my Scotland-England ones, I've got my Scotland, Peru one, and the Holland one.
Yeah. Barry, what about yourself?
My debut game and my first game as Scotland captain.
Got them in a frame?
Yep.
Yeah, you get yours in a frame. You've got one of your 82 World Cup ones in a frame,
And
Rafa.
I've got the Kubias one in a frame as well now.
Yeah, Kubias, yeah.
Because I saw you in his mantelpiece.
No, I saw him looking at it every time he came to my house. So I had to get it in a frame because he disappeared into a room and pinched it.
What an absolute... What a statement from Ruffy. The castle secured with rock and the gun, the mile it bustles in the Edinburgh sun. Where are your allies, to the east or the west? Maroon or the green, the colour that's best. Leith bathed in sunshine, prepared for the tackles, proclaiming in song to break free from the shackles. Destiny, fate, or a sting in the tail, one man's instruction for his team to prevail. Triumph or loss may favour just one. Will the crowd turn in anger to their once favourite son? A rub of Hume's foot for the luck in the battle. A strike to remember for the stadium to crackle. I long for a Stanton or Jeffries to cheer, a Robbo or Gordon from front through to rear. If victory beckons for one team today, is it Jambo or Hibby down Easter Roadway? I think it's the right decision to sack Craig Levein. I've watched Hearts on more than a few occasions. They've been poor to watch, and that's without Stephen Naismith in the side. He changes the dynamic, but one man can't make a team. I think it's the right call, and everybody will now look towards the future. Jack Ross, Stephen Robinson at Motherwell, John Robertson at Inverness will be in there with the candidates, but it's right that Craig Levein goes. It's now time for a new era at Tynecastle, and everybody will say, Ruffy, they've got to look now to someone who can galvanise that team, as Tam's just highlighted.
Yeah, look, he's an experienced manager. He'll know he's under pressure to get results. Obviously, the Hearts fans are not happy. He'll know that, so it's important to try and get wins and wins quickly, but I don't think they'll do it against Motherwell. I think Motherwell, just get a funny feeling that Motherwell can go to Tynecastle, and certainly the first 15-20 minutes, if they keep that crowd quiet, then I think Hearts are in for a difficult afternoon.
Yeah, I think you sometimes, Barry, are guilty of sitting too near Ruffy, and that's where mispronunciation comes, because certainly the Farts fans hope they don't turn up, because that'll just be a rotten game for everybody, Ruffy. More importantly, Tam, it's the first one for you. I don't know if you've sampled it on a regular basis with the guys at the BBC Sport, but it's your first weekend staff party. The boys will be there in great numbers as well.
Absolutely fantastic.
Only worrying aspect of it for me is we've been in a few raucous places together. I just hope it doesn't turn out like the night we had in Port Glasgow, where you started to sing The Hungry Years by Neil Sedaka.
Do you remember that? Aye. If we go somewhere singing, it was a rabble that night. You remember it was like I'd just been to see the great Neil Sedaka in Glasgow, and I'd had a long day. There was guys knocking hell out of each other at one table. There was drunks there, and I just went into a medley of Neil Sedaka songs till the absolute bemusement of it all just shut them up.
Yeah,
it was great.
Absolutely. And if
Let me finish with a song.
Well, I was going to say, if we can get a video of Tam and Barry Ferguson and everybody fighting, and Tam Cowan walking behind them singing Neil Sedaka, we'll certainly post it. We leave you tonight with Tam Cowan taking us out with a medley. Hopefully you'll join us the next time. Tam, take it away.
Girl, we made it to the top. We went so high we couldn't stop. We climbed a ladder leading us nowhere.
Welcome to Hampden Park, where this Sunday we'll see the first Old Firm Cup final in over 8 years. Now, Celtic have had utter domestic dominance for the last 3 campaigns, of course winning the treble. But a resurgent Rangers feel it's their turn to win some silverware. So, can Neil Lennon's men continue their stranglehold over Scottish football, or is it time for Stephen Gerrard's side to win their first trophy since returning to the top flight? It is time for the Betfred Cup final. Let's start with the challengers, Rangers. They are yet to concede a goal in a competition, keeping clean sheets against East Fife, Livingston and Hearts in the semi-final. The Gers may not have won this competition in 8 years, but they're no strangers to the trophy, lifting it a record 27 times. Al McGregor and Stephen Davis, both of whom are likely to start, have 8 between them, so experience is there. The question will be whether other standout players this season, such as Ryan Jack, Ryan Kent and of course Alfredo Morelos, step up and deliver on the biggest stage possible. They're playing their best football under Gerrard at the moment. They are just behind Celtic in the league and 1 win away from reaching the Europa League knockout stages. They've not lost in 11 games over 2 months now. The only stutter to their form came on Wednesday night after they let a 2-goal lead go at Pittodrie, meaning they dropped 2 points behind Celtic, who went top thanks to a last-minute winner from captain Scott Brown. So both teams are bang in form. Celtic have won 11 in a row and only lost once domestically all season. They've lifted the League Cup 9 times less than their eternal rivals, but the bulk of this squad has been involved in their recent successes. The Hoops have scored 12 goals in the competition so far, 2 against Dunfermline, 5 over Partick and 5 more against Hibs at Hampden a month ago. So goals shouldn't be a problem, especially if star forwards Odson Edouard and Mohamed El Yunusi make returns from injuries as expected. Bolly Bolingoli also faces a late fitness test, whilst the red-hot Ryan Christie is a man to watch. All eyes across the country will be on the National Stadium come 3 o'clock on Sunday to see if Rangers can break their cup hoodoo or if Celtic will make it 10 domestic trophies in a row. Plus, perhaps, it will give us the biggest sign yet of which way the league title will be heading. Celtic win the League Cup. The general consensus from everyone across the media and online is that Rangers were the better team. Barry, I know you tipped Rangers to win. Do you think they deserve to win?
They certainly played well. That's one of the best performances against Celtic I've seen. But at the end of the day, I would rather play poorly and win a cup and have a medal run about my neck. But look, Rangers have got to take the positives out of it. I thought they were really good over the 90 minutes. I thought there was good performances and they've shown that they can compete with Celtic. So be disappointed because you didn't win the final. It's going to be a hard 48 hours, but they've got to get on, back on the bike quickly. They've got a big game on Thursday and I'm sure they'll try and take the positives out of a good performance.
Was there ever a player that you came across, Barry, that you played alongside, there was a wee nickname for them that suddenly you thought, you'll never live up to that?
I don't think any of the managers that I played under done that. It's going to be hard. Look, he's an experienced campaigner, the boy. I think he'll just take that with a pinch of salt. Because he is a big player for Kilmarnock.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a leader at the back. But to compare him to the boy at Juventus now, he's world class.
You don't want to say Chiellini because you've heard Ruffy
I know
you've heard Ruffy destroy that name.
He was calling him
listen, he'll be chocolate ice cream by the time he's finished with him, by the way. He never pronounces a name right on any programme.
Go on, have a bash.
Chiellini.
Yeah, you don't say it loud, nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly.
When I look at the 2 white players for Scotland, Ryan Fraser and James Forrest, 2 players I hate. I don't hate. I rate highly. So if we can get the ball to them early, we've got a real chance.
Just hoping. And talking of celebrations, guys, I've got to ask you, you've got to be honest about it. I know you've got I know you're kind of a double agents, and you still get a wee bit of work, and you do the BBC as well. Do they have Christmas nights out for the sports team when you all go out for a night out?
I don't think they did have one this year.
Yeah.
I think they do. They've won at the end of the season, but you've got to pay for it yourself.
You've got to pay for
Obviously,
yourself.
It's taxpayers' money at the BBC,
Yeah,
so
right.
it's not so bad here. Hopefully you'll be dipping into your pocket.
You clearly didn't get invited last year. No. It was in Monte Carlo. It's fabulous. It all won the taxpayers' money. It's superb. And then we get some cash just for us to get the Wayne's Christmas presents. Right.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.